We are live. Looks like we are live. How is everybody? Hope you're all doing okay. I am here to be with you on this live Q&A. My name is Mark Villarosa, for those of you that don't yet know me, which you should know me by now. And I'm here to coach you and give you guidance on the business boosting coaching for creatives. This is part of the Freedom to Be program that helps creative people like yourself to enjoy marketing, have fun marketing your business, maybe to reignite that fire and that passion that has gone a little bit wayward or a little bit lost or that needs reviving about what it is that you do for business. You know, we've all been there. Sometimes business can be a little bit tedious. There are peaks and troughs in business. It's seasonal. Sometimes things are going great, sometimes things aren't going so great and things are a bit challenging, right? So that is what I'm here to do, is I'm here to help you, to guide you and navigate you through the online wilderness and to get you from point A to point B. Point B being whatever it is that success means to you, whether that's finding more customers for your business, finding more self-fulfillment, combination of the two, you know, pushing the needle to increasing your income streams, to expanding new ideas, to get more revenue for your business. You know, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you and to coach you and to guide you. Okay, so I just want to reassure you that if you cannot watch this live, that's okay. Just watch this in your own time. I share or I record all of these sessions and put it in the G Drive, of which, as a member of Freedom to Be, you are very welcome to tap into and watch anytime that is convenient for you. I'm a great believer in the abbreviation KISS, which stands for what I have invented it to mean is keep it super simple. Okay, so oftentimes overwhelm comes from overthinking things, of which I am guilty of that as well, being a creative person myself, and over planning things, overthinking things basically. Whereas what we need to be doing is focusing on the task at hand, looking for the lowest hanging branch, if you will, to create a successful achievement with something that is within our reach, shall we say. By doing that, keeping it super simple is often the key to achieving that. Okay, so there's a lot of things I want to go through today. I'm quite excited. Someone has actually requested that I cover a couple of things that are important to them. This person is one of my longtime mentees and a lovely person. I just want to give her a shout out. It's Catherine Patterson. If you're watching, or if you're watching this live or in the other recorded, I just want to give you a name check. Incidentally, Catherine is she's an incredible person, very warm person, and a professional clinical hypnotherapist. Very, very skilled at what she does. She helps with things like stress, anxiety, and is also, I believe, a Wim Hof certified breath work instructor. Now, you probably have heard of Wim Hof. He's a guy who's a Nordic guy, I believe, and he specializes in breath work, and he's someone who is able to control his breathing even in below zero temperatures. So he's definitely an interesting character to look into, and Catherine has learned these techniques from him and can help with things like breath work, which will be very useful, especially if you're experiencing stress or anxiety in your life, or even lack of confidence. Catherine can definitely help. So I'll put a link to her business somewhere, if possible, on this the comment section, and you guys can check her out as well. So the first thing that we're going to be looking at is the question is, how do you find the right tone of voice for your particular market? Okay, now that's a heavily loaded question. Okay, it sounds like it's a simple question, but there's actually lots of layers in it. So let's just unpack that a little bit and try to keep it super simple in me giving you at least an overview of what excuse me, you can do to achieve that, right? So the first thing, how to find the right tone of voice for your market? Well, the first question that I would have for you is, do you know and understand or rather, you need to know and understand what market you're in, right? This is very important. What niche you're in, what category you're in. This bears thinking about. And ultimately, what you need to bear in mind is you don't necessarily have to be an expert at all things in your market, but what I do highly recommend that you become an expert at, a lifelong student of, is the customer that you're targeting within your market, right? And this is what is often called an avatar. This is a lifelong journey and a process, because I believe that the key to being successful in your business is all focused on your avatar. It's about knowing who your avatar is, and you need to treat this very seriously, because this person, your avatar, is at the end of the day your bread and butter. This is the customer that is paying you for your service. And I don't think it's an over dramatization for me to say that you need to develop an intimate relationship with this avatar. Obviously, not a romantic relationship. That would be a little bit fantastical and not very practical. But on a serious note, you've got to develop an intimate relationship with this person. You've got to at least like this person. And before you learn to like this person, you need to know who this person is. And so there are certain attributes that you need to have very clear in your mind. You've got to have it written down. I hope you're taking notes, by the way, right? If you know what an avatar is and you've got an avatar, I would still recommend that you revisit your avatar, make tweaks, fine tune it, really understand this person. Maybe have some sort of session where you start to visualize and imagine what this person is like as a real human being. I'm being serious about this, okay? And the reason why this is, and incidentally, if you don't have an avatar, or if you don't know what an avatar is, check out my previous videos, look it up on Google. What is an avatar in marketing speak, right? Figure it out, research this, and then start to create a profile of your avatar. And the reason why this is important is because I believe that you will be successful in your business. In fact, you will only be successful in your business if you can genuinely communicate the benefits of what you do, if you believe in what you do, and you can genuinely communicate that to your customer or your avatar in a way that sounds and feels authentic. Okay? Big businesses like big corporates, IBM, Apple Music, T-Mobile, EE, you name it, these Nike, these big, massive, multi-billion-dollar enterprises. You know what their marketing team specialize in? They specialize in exactly what we're talking about right this very second. They specialize in narrowing down their avatar and turning that avatar or avatars into a real person, as real as if they could almost touch them. And they spend hours in the boardroom developing storyboards and advertising scripts and slogans that communicate their message in a personal way, as personal as possible. Now, if you're not I'm assuming you're not a billion-dollar organization. Otherwise, I'm very honored that you're here. Maybe there is a few things that maybe I can share with you that could help your advertising team. But seriously, why it's important when you're a small or medium-sized enterprise is because at this level, at the kind of level that your company is in, your customers aren't necessarily buying your brand yet. They're buying you. They're buying you as an individual, or as the person, or the personal brand that you're putting out there. And I'm assuming that if you're a small, medium-sized business, that you are putting yourself out there. You're putting your face out there. You're putting your name out there, synonymous with your brand. And if you're not, then that's conversation for another time, because you really should be doing that. Because people buy people at the end of the day. And the more likable you are and the more relatable you are to your customer, the more incentivized they will be to check you out, go down that journey, customer journey with you, which at the end of that customer funnel or journey is where they part money, their hard-earned money, in order for you to help them with what pain that they have. But that only starts if they feel like you know them and they genuinely feel like you care about them. Okay, and that can only happen if you know them, if you like them, and if you genuinely care about them. And this can only happen if you have at least some idea of who this person is. Okay, so I'll keep it super simple again, and I'll leave this point because I want to get into the meat and bones of this, right? You've got to like your customer. And the way that you like your customer is knowing who they are, understanding their pains, understanding what makes them tick, and then speaking to them in that language and really reaching out to them to say, hey, look, I know you, I understand who you are, and I can help you. And you have to mean it, okay? And you can only mean it if you've done the work beforehand of knowing who they are. Okay, so so that's the market. Okay, I really did a deep dive there, and you need to know your market to find the right tone before we can reverse engineer this and get to the tone. So the question was how to find the right tone, right? Well, before you find the right tone, it's steps to getting to there. Understand your market, as I've just mentioned, and then your voice. Right. Your voice, in my opinion, should always be genuinely who you are. You definitely don't want to pretend to be someone that you're not, because that's definitely going to power through. Rather, it's going to shine through. Whatever it is that you're presenting, whether it's genuine, yeah, being your genuine self, that'll shine through. If you're being disingenuous and kind of faking it a little bit or trying to be someone that you're not, that also is going to shine through. And people have got regardless of what a person's actual intellectual intelligence is, I believe that we're all emotionally intelligent and we can pick these things up. So to keep it super simple, again, your voice should be your voice, but your natural self. But I would say just enhance it a little bit with a little bit more energy. So if in a normal situation, you'd be speaking like this with a friend or with your partner, and just being a bit relaxed on video especially, then you amp that up maybe by around 10%. Amp yourself up by 10% and speak the truth. Speak the gospel of what it is that you want to share with your customer based on knowing who they are, knowing what they need, and telling them very confidently, I'm the person to help you, and do it from the heart. Okay? So that I would say is the tonality of how you should approach this. How do you find it? Well, you actually discover it in a process that is almost like it's linked. It's a sequence that's linked, right? So once you understand your market, once you care about your customer, once you understand your customer, and once you like your customer, all you really need to do to find the right voice in communicating that is just to speak the truth and be yourself, but maybe just amp it up a little bit. Make sense? Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, so let's just recap on that, right? First, you've got to be clear about who you stand for, the customer. You've got to be clear about your customer. And you've also got to be clear about what you stand for. And what you stand for is helping them with their pains. So you've got to understand their pains. And last but not least, in no particular order, in fact, you've got to be clear about who you are. You've got to be clear about the personality, your strengths. If you're calm, then that's okay. Calm, but amp it up by 10%. If you're, if you're quite energetic, then yeah, be energetic. Maybe amp it up by 10% by being clearer. Not just loud, but also clear and more articulate, right? So that I would say would be important. So it's important that you know your avatar and you know your market, so that the way that your voice, your tonality and all that is matched with your audience. Okay? Because one thing that will be a disconnect is if these are not aligned, right? I'll give you an example. I've got an example here. Just imagine that you're a music artist and your music genre is you're a hard rock artist. Not exactly heavy metal, but you're a hard rock and music artist. You will have a different voice, literally, on stage, and you will have a different branding, a different approach, a different style of marketing to an audience who's a country and western artist. They literally have a different style of singing. They have a different kind of audience. Their audience hang out in different venues, right? So your style and your voice, shall we say, has to match also the audience that are into hard rock or into country and western. It's understanding what turns them on and what invigorates them, and then being yourself but communicating to them in that language. Okay, so you develop a brand accordingly. And wrote down here, your brand is part of your voice in the market. So the tonality of if we're talking about a voice, right? Your brand has to be reflective of what you stand for visually and as quickly as possible. So these will include things like making sure that your brand is aligned with things like the colors that you're using. So we're not talking about physical voicing here. We're talking about voice and tonality of your brand, of your company brand, and we're all trying to get this in complete alignment with your avatar. Okay, what's going to be genuine in yourself, of course, in how you're presenting yourself, but what's going to align with the avatar that you're serving, this person that you like and that you want to provide solutions to. So it's things like colors. Are the colors that you're using going to be the kind of colors that's going to be appealing to your avatar, to this person that you're trying to appeal to? Are they, if the person that you're trying to appeal to is someone that is looking for peace in their life, looking for stability in their life, then should your colors also reflect that kind of welcoming warmth? I'm asking you. But if your business is something that is highly energetic and very fast-paced, and maybe your colors could reflect that also in its vibrancy, right? Are you doing that? So think about the colors that you're using. And also the textures of the colors. Are they clean cut and solid and angular, or are they more flowing? Think about your avatar. I'm going to keep saying this until you're blue, until I'm blue in the face, right? Everything that you do is really geared towards your avatar. Everything that you do, because ultimately they're your bread and butter. Without them, you don't have a business, right? Okay, your language style. Think about your avatar. What kind of language do they respond to? Is it colloquial, kind of like, I don't know what that was, but kind of like hip language? Are they more like, someone that you could have a drink with, or have a bit of a casual time with, or are they someone who's professional? Think about your avatar. What kind of language would they respond to best? Also the mood. Your brand is also dependent on the mood that you're trying to elicit. So that is also down to your writing style and the colors that you use, right? What kind of mood are you trying to elicit? Is it something invigorating and energizing? Is it something that is straightforward? Or is it something that is calm and warm and inviting and relaxing? Think about that in your branding. And this is going to be important for everything that you do, whether it's a Facebook post, whether it's your logo, whether it's the colors that you're using on your masthead, or in an email that you're writing, the colors that you're using. You've got to be uniform. Once you create your brand and it's aligned with your avatar, then your brand needs to be uniform. Everywhere that you're seen, it has to follow the same trajectory and the same style, if you will. Okay. And last but not least, symbols as well. Is it the ocean? Is it the sky? Is it a bow and arrow? Whatever it is, again, think about the mood, the color, the language, the needs, and the things that would appeal to your avatar. Make it relevant to them. All right, makes sense? I was quite deep dive into voice and tonality, but there's so many different things that we can look at. But I hope I gave you a varied, multi-layered, approach at how you can view this and how you can achieve good tonality and voice when you're presenting your brand and reaching out to your customer online. Okay, how to write a bio that rocks. I like this. Okay, this is actually pretty straightforward, and I'll just reel off some stuff that I wrote here. I would say that most definitely you want to do a bit of research. Look at bios of people that you admire. especially look at bios of people that you've bought something from recently. Maybe it's a book that you bought, or maybe it's a course that you bought, right? Whoever you bought it from, check out their bio. Now, when you check out a bio, these people's bios, I would still recommend that you use those as templates. Don't copy it. Don't copy the style, and obviously don't copy word for word, right? Because that would be plagiarism. But seriously, ultimately, you want to keep it brief and punchy. With all due respect, unless you're extreme, only if someone is extremely popular and very world famous, I think that's when it necessitates a long drawn out bio, Wikipedia style, right? But most people don't have time, and they want things quick. They want things delivered to them rather quickly. So when they're reading a bio, you want to have it short and punchy, so that it gets to the heart of the matter as quickly as possible and catches your reader's attention. And inside it, I would say keep it brief and punchy, but you could probably have two versions. One is literally just a paragraph's worth of a bio, and then a longer bio, which would be like a short blog style bio. Maybe, I don't know, 100, 150, 250 words, and then like a short strap line of a bio. Most importantly, whether it's a short punchy bio or the longer one, the aspects that you want to have in there is you want to think again with your avatar in mind, right? So when they're reading this, what are the key words that are going to perk up their ears, like make their eyes go wide and go, hey, this person sounds like they're the person for me. They're the man or the woman to help me out, right? So the things that you want to include in the bio are aspects of your life journey, maybe epiphanies, career highlights, right? These are the things that would appeal to them. Solutions that maybe you've discovered in your own life, and also solutions that you can then share with them. So these key phrases, right? You don't obviously have to have all of those things in your bio, but think about, maybe I would say aim for 2 or 3 of those things and have it in your bio. Things that will perk up your avatar's ears based on the journey that they're in. And I'd say that an avatar, there's lots of different types of avatars, but typically the kind of avatar that I think you would be motivated and passionate about helping is probably a younger version of yourself. And when I say younger, I don't mean young in age. They could be younger in age, but maybe someone who is at the beginning of the journey of trying to find the solutions that you've already found, that you've already mastered even. And therefore, you're now looking back as a coach or a mentor or a more experienced person and being able to help them. What would prick their ears up? What pricked your ears up at that point of your journey? What kind of language appealed to you when you were at the start of your journey? If, I'm just giving you an example, your avatar is a younger version of yourself. I think that's quite endearing, actually, because then it elicits the caring and protective nature that we all have inside of ourselves to help those that are less fortunate, weaker than us. Not necessarily physically weaker, but not having the same tools that we have is always something that, it certainly invigorates me to be able to share my knowledge with people that I can help who are farther down at the beginning of their journey in understanding how to market themselves and do this online. Okay. Last note on this is, within your bio, most definitely, you should embed keywords, okay? If you know what a keyword is, congratulations, good for you. You've probably been listening to me, or you know your stuff. If you don't know what a keyword is, go back into the other videos that I've done, or look it up on Google. This is so very important to your business. In a nutshell, to keep it super simple, a keyword is basically, it's a phrase or a succession or a combination of words, or literally a word that people typically will type in on a search engine like Google to find products and services that can help them. That's what it is. Okay? So you need to know what keywords your avatars are searching for online, And once you know what that is, you need to do your best to embed those keywords into your bio as much as possible. Okay. Now it's a tall order to do this in a paragraph or in 250. Well, 250 words should be a lot easier, but the challenge is to do it in a short paragraph, to put your career highlights, your life's journey, and keywords in it. But therein is the rub, because once you're able to do it, you're going to have a really powerful bio, one that speaks directly in the language of your customer, gets their interest, is genuinely who you are, and is also interesting and not boring. Okay, makes sense? All right, so I hope that helped. And there's a lot more that we can look into in this, and a lot more deep diving. I would say that each business is different and needs to be assessed and looked at and coached in its own merits, right? As a specific standalone example, because not all two businesses are alike. And if you want more one-on-one in-depth coaching that is specific to your business, then we can do that. This is the group coaching and group live Q&A, where I address questions or topics that have been requested. But if you want more personal two-way dialogue, like a two-way deep and meaningful interaction specific to your business, then I can do that. I can do that with you as well, but you'll just have to book a session. So make sure you check it out on my website. I'll leave a link down below as well, and we can set that up. Okay. So I just want to end by saying to all of you that are watching, okay, the following: you need to take your time. This is very important, to just listen to your body, listen to your heart, listen to your soul. We all need a rest. Sometimes we just can't keep going. We're not machines. We're not built to keep on going. All right. And when you rest and you take time out, absolve yourself of the guilt. Okay. There is no room for guilt in a healthy, happy, positive person's life. Okay. And remember this: resting is not quitting. Okay. Resting doesn't mean that you've quit on yourself or on someone else or on the team or on your customers. Resting just means you need the time in order to energize so that you can go back and do a great job in continuing the service that you provide to others. Okay. So take the time to rest. Rest is important, not just physically, but your soul needs rest as well. And that leads me to the next bit, which is don't be afraid of the silence. All right. When I say silence, you might be into meditation, that's silence. You might be into prayer, communing with God, that's silence. Or you might just be resting. Just not doing anything. No TV, no scrolling on Facebook, no kids at the moment. Just give yourself a bit of time, just a bit of walk in the park, a bit of silence, no music, just silence. Resting is also silence. I'll tell you this much. In my experience, in my humble experience of 50 years of life, over 50 years of life actually, I turned 52 recently, I've very often not found the answers I was seeking in the noise. I've almost always found the answers I needed in the silence. Okay? So don't be afraid of the silence. In fact, schedule it in. I think you know what I mean. All right? Last but not least, growing your business and your audience and building your business and building your brand. This is not a sprint. It's not even a marathon, because there isn't a finish line. This is a life's journey. Okay, which is why it's important that the kind of business that you're in, and I'm gonna tell you something now that I hope is more motivational and not to demotivate you, okay? But the longevity and the success of your business is dependent on how passionate you can be about what you do long term. Okay, not just a flash in the pan, interesting idea that maybe might make sense, or I think that was good because it seemed like a good idea at the time. Maybe I'll make money on it. No, that doesn't have long-term value. It certainly isn't sustainable. You will deplete yourself of energy, and you will give up at some point if that's all it's based on. Your business needs to be built on something that you can truly feel passionate about, and that you can truly sustain yourself in long term. And that is understanding what your purpose is. Do you know what your purpose is? Your really deep-seated purpose? Your God-given talents were given to you for a reason, right? And so if you can align your talents with your purpose and then make your business the vehicle for delivering that to help others with your God-given talents and your purpose, that is a strong and powerful place to be. And it's only a matter of time, if you stay the course, that you will reap the harvest of what it is that you're seeking, whether that's more customers, a more successful business, more time to enjoy because you've got a successful business that you learn to automate, whatever that is. It's got to be sustainable. You've got to be really passionate and excited about what you do. And I'll end on this. You've got to be excited about helping your avatar. Okay? So you need to know who your avatar is, understand your market, and therein will come the ease, really. It's going to become easier for you to find your voice and your tonality in communicating with them. All right, well, that's all I have for you today, and I can do more of these. I'm just happy to receive requests from you for what things to cover, and obviously I'll select the ones and schedule them in priority of first come, first serve, and cover these for you and help you out as best as I can. I believe that if you're here and you've been following me, my mission is to help you. If you're a creative person, great. If you're not, that's okay as well. If you've got a business that you want to grow, my mission is to help you to share your talents and your skills with others, to help make the world a better place, and so that you can make the money that you fairly deserve, because your vehicle is your business in order to not just help people, but to also make a profit as well. Okay? This is Mark with Freedom to Be. I'll speak to you again soon. In the meantime, follow your passion and do what you love.